Yes, absolutely. Well, then, I wanted to ask you about enlightenment because there's so many different ways of seeing enlightenment, and since you are a teacher of enlightenment, can you help us with the definition of enlightenment? Because I've had numerous mini enlightenments, but I'm just wondering how you describe it.
I think that it is a journey. I don't know that there is an end to it, a final completion, especially now. Maybe in past centuries there was a sense of attaining that transcendent state and then being stabilized in it. But my own experience in this world in the last 30 years has been of this ongoing evolutionary progression, where one door opens after another and one moves through as one is able to do that. So I'm not even sure where enlightenment begins and where it ends at this point. I think it's a journey. That's what I would say. But it definitely means that you've seen reality beyond the ego.
Yes.
I would say that would probably be the most concise definition of it. And it is a realization and a shifting and an awakening into an alternative perception of what reality in this world is. That it's eternal, that you're connected to the cosmos, that there is a divine intelligence beyond the human level of intelligence, that you are directly connected. You don't have to go through a priest or a church or a savior, that you are immediately directly connected. We all are already connected, and so it's the initial phases of enlightenment are the awakening to the fact and the direct experience of that fact of being connected to divine source, and that we are all actually divine source, but stuck in some kind of human reality, which is sort of like a virtual stage set where we can play out our ego games.
Right,
and then when we get to the end of that, we can return back to source.
Wonderful.
So, but knowing that's everybody's destiny, but being conscious of it and not living enshrined in belief systems that are associated with the limited world and what we call ego. So, that's the definition. And I think one can progress along. Once one has that divine connection, it develops in stages into more and more profound perceptions of a larger reality and higher dimensions, where the constructs of that reality are put together in a slightly different way, where people are perhaps more far-seeing, more sensitive, more empathetic, more transcendental in their awareness. So yes, I do think that there is a breakthrough moment, and then if one continues being curious about the nature of reality, then that breakthrough moment expands and accelerates and progresses into a broader and broader and broader perspectives.
Very well said.
Well, thank you.
My goodness.
Nobody's ever really quite asked me to define this before.
Well, that was very well said. Very well said. I find myself continually curious about what's around the next bend spiritually, and
yes.
Of course, with my guests, I find that my team, my guides or whatever you want to call it, they all have to work overtime with me because I'm such a tough case. They just provide the right person, and I learn so much from each person, and I just fall in love with all my guests.
Oh, it must be a fun job.
Well, it is. I don't get paid for it, but you know, I do it as a service to everyone, and I'm happy to do it.
It sounds like it's a good way to spread the word.
Yes,
and spread the light.
Well, now, we only have a couple minutes left, so if you have any thoughts that you'd like to share with the listeners, and then also share, you know, your website and any other information you'd like everybody to know about.
Okay. Well, what I would want to say to everybody is try to back off being obsessed with your secular life and start focusing on more and more on your journey and opening yourself into a more right-brained, more transcendent, less heavily defined ego reality, but out into the cosmos. Open your crown and your third eye and call your guides in and deepen your journey each day. Because this, what's coming, is not to be missed. Right.
Yeah, very good.
And as far as the website goes, let's see, it's www.corelight.org, and Corelight is spelled CORELIGHT. And then our humanitarian arm is www.seedsoflight.org. And then our book, which is about dissolving ego, is called, there's a website for that as well, www.marriageofspirit.com.
All right.
And we're participating in an event that starts next week, where a number of well-known speakers are speaking on a weekly basis, and we speak on the 19th. Brad and I speak on the 19th of October, and it's an online course called Revolution for Evolution.
All right, and they can find out about that on one of your sites.
Online, yeah, exactly.
Wonderful.
And actually, Brad and I are teaching a class on phone bridge technology called From Apathy to Empathy.
Nice.
Which starts in September, around the 18th.
Wonderful.
And ends in October.
Wow.
So we've got a lot of things going on.
I guess you do. Well, that's good. You're keeping busy during these times and helping people to awaken. So
amazingly busy, and we feel very committed to a sort of activist position in lots of different ways. So we're working hard at the moment.
Well, I think I just can't thank you enough for the work that you do and for joining us on the show, and you're more than welcome to come back another time and share some more, because I know that there's a lot more that you could be sharing with the audience. So I thank you for being on the show and sharing yourself with the world. Well,
thank you for inviting me, Lance. It's been a pleasure to spend some time with you. And I'd love to come back sometime and share what's happened between now and when we talk next.
Yes, I think that's a great idea. I think we're going to need to do that. Well, all right, Leslie.
Be very well, and thank you again.
All right, thank you. And have a good night.
Thank you.
All right.
Good night.
Bye-bye.